Well, good morning.
Good morning.
Now, we can do better than that. Good morning.
Good morning.
This is a big deal. It is a big deal. This thing is happening every 10 years. And we don't want to miss the boat this time. Let me first, before I get started, and I'm going to remind you, I come out of a household of ministers. So don't start saying amen, because I might be here a minute. But before I get started, let me take a minute to recognize my co-chair on the State Complete Count Committee. Where's Shelby? Shelby Johnson, please stand and raise your hand right over here. Thanks for all the work you're doing, Shelby. And I see friends in the room. Tamika, worked with her a lot when I was in the legislature, and see many of you that I worked with. Did you see the cool bus out front?
Yes.
You like that? That came all the way from Fort Smith, Arkansas. We just kind of want to point out what we're doing to make sure we get a complete count, complete and accurate count. They are doing a great job in supporting our effort, and I'd like to recognize my assistant and the lady that made a presentation to the national director of the census, Mr. Rena Storm. Stand up and raise your hand. Thank you. Thank you. See my old friend Denver over here and some other folks. And Leon, thank you for being here and being part of the team. This is our chance. This thing rolls around every 10 years. And Arkansas has traditionally been known as a hard-to-count state, or undercounted state, or something that just doesn't sound very good to me. Let's change that. The people in this room can change that based on what you do when you go back to your city, your town, your hamlet, your community. Let's do it. And I don't have to tell you, we've been talking about this for a while, and all of you know the statistics. We all know that this thing could cost our state billions of dollars if we don't care about our cities and communities. And we do care about them. Those are our hometowns. Those are our communities. Those are the people we love and care for. So you make sure when you go back home, you tell people, if you care about your senior citizen center, you take 5 minutes to complete this census. If you care about those children that may need a meal at school, you complete this. If you care about a hospital or a community clinic in your neighborhood or in your small town, you need to complete this census. If you care about the roads and streets in your town, you need to complete this census. If you care at all. This thing is from bottom up.
Amen.
It's from bottom up.
Amen.
You got 5 more minutes. You just added 5 more minutes to this. I tried to warn her, didn't I? But it is. This is a bottom-up effort. And everyone counts. In Fort Smith, we're gonna have some onesies. You know that thing you put on new babies? We're gonna put onesies on all the babies born during this census period. And they're gonna be in the hospitals. In our medical community, hospitals have agreed to pay for them. Ask people to help you with this. They understand, our hospitals understand the value of what we're trying to do with this census. It matters. And the people in this room, how many of you all go to a football game to see the huddle? You don't go see them huddled up, do we? I mean, they do it right in front of us. They huddle up after every play, but we don't go there to see the huddle. What we go there for is to see what they're going to do when they break. Today we're huddled up here in Little Rock, out at Philander Smith, one of the great colleges in the United States. Today we're all huddled up to talk about what we're going to do for this census. Everybody back home and around the state, and the governor, every time I see him, he says, George, he gives me this, George, we got to get those numbers up. Everybody around the state is waiting to see what we're going to do when we get back home. We can stand idly by, we can take it lightly, but it's going to cost you. I don't know what it would look like, but just let's say it could cost you up to $40,000 for every person that does not sign up or participate in the census. And we've got to turn over every stone. We've got to go to every entity. We've got to go to every nonprofit. We've got to go to every church. We've got to go turn over everything we can to make sure we get a complete and accurate count. We went to the regional meeting in Chicago, and they told us Arkansas came in about 35th on the ledger of states who participated in the last census. Heard from Illinois, they've been losing national representation because they are not getting a good count. We don't want to lose. We can't afford to lose anything here in Arkansas. So let's all of us make a commitment to be great ambassadors for the state of Arkansas by being great leaders and great voices for this census. We're counting on you to do that. And again, it all starts with you. And what we do is going to matter for the next decade. Let's not be in a situation, when I was in the state legislature, former legislator over here, he knows what I'm talking about. When we were in the legislature, we were talking about how can we fund medical care, find dollars to help people that are on a waiting list to get medical attention. And it came to mind, if we would have had a good count in the census, those dollars would have been here, and we wouldn't have had a waiting list. Highways, medical, education, all of those are driven by census numbers. This is a serious deal. And what you do is going to determine how Arkansas ranks when those numbers come out. People must not only hear what you say, but they need to feel it. You need to talk about the things that will matter to them. I'm counting on you to give it your best. And at the end of the day, Arkansas is going to get an accurate, complete count. Thank you all for being here. Have a great session.